Turning now to the Republicans, we spoke with Florida Senator Marco Rubio in Sioux Center, Iowa earlier. We began by asking him about the prisoner swap.
Well, first, let me say they're not prisoners. These people that were being held were hostages. None of them had violated any real laws. And in fact, some of them weren't even charged. One of them was a reporter. The other one was a pastor. And they'd done nothing. And let me just say, Bob Levinson is still missing. The Iranians know where he is, or we believe they do. And they're not being cooperative about that. We should not forget Mr. Levinson and his situation. But going back to the point, these people were hostages. The people America's releasing, they were convicted in a court of law after due process of helping violate sanctions. The president has pardoned them in exchange for a release of hostages, which had done nothing wrong. And it proves, once again, that now nations and enemies of America around the world know that there's a price for Americans. If you take an American hostage, Barack Obama will cut a deal with you, whether it's Bergdahl, what he did with the Castro brothers, and now what he's done with Iran. We're happy they're coming home, but they never should have been held prisoner in the first place.
What about the quick resolution of the 10 sailors earlier last week? John Kerry, Secretary of State, said that is another instance in which diplomacy helped solve that faster than it would have in the past.
Well, again, imagine if those sailors had wandered into Israeli waters or Egyptian waters. We never would have heard about it because there wouldn't have been a thing going on there, an incident. They would have had their motor repaired and sent back on their way. Instead of what happened, Iran grabbed them, put them on their knees, put their hands behind their head, forced them to apologize on video, made the female sailor wear a burqa, filmed them in captivity in that room, all in an effort to show how powerful they are and how weak we are in a huge propaganda score. This is not the act. They're not our allies. They're not our friends. And ultimately, they released them, but only after achieving what they wanted from it, and that is to prove that if they wanted to, they can grab American sailors and subject them to this treatment.
Let me ask you about propaganda. President Obama in his State of the Union said that with ISIS, when Republicans say it's too grave a threat, it plays right into their hands. You've said it's a clash of civilization. So are you playing into their hands as the president has charged?
Well, I think playing into their hands would be to ignore the reality of what ISIS has become. ISIS is not just some group of radicals on the back of pickup trucks. This is a group that's grown in both influence and sophistication. They have a very sophisticated propaganda program that are recruiting foreign fighters. They have a sophisticated understanding of foreign immigration practices. You've seen how they've been able to insert people into Europe using the refugee crisis. There's a group that controls significant territory in Iraq and in Syria. This is a serious threat. Can we defeat them? Absolutely. But only if we have a real war against them, which is to find them and destroy them. And if you capture any of them alive, send them to Guantanamo and find out everything they know.